Original footage, YouTuber Joe blogs. Joe lived in the English countryside. The property next to Joe was some sort of farm. Joe started to notice weird things happening on the farm and started to document and film what he saw. Joe even made a recon film of the farm in daylight. While walking around the boundary of the farm, Joe filmed what seemed to be some sort of alien entity in an old rundown shed while doing the recon. At this time, I myself was being abducted on a regular basis, so finding Joe's channel was of great interest to me. After watching a daylight alien gathering on the farm, I had a dreadful feeling run through me, and something told me that they, the aliens, knew that Joe was filming them. The feeling was so great I did something I have never done before and sent Joe a private message. I told him a little about myself and my alien experience. Then I told him that they knew what he was doing and he should be careful. He agreed, but said what he was filming was too big not to film and post it. Me and Joe spoke a few times after that, but his channel disappeared of YouTube and I never heard from Joe again. This is one of Joe's videos. The Alien Gathering
area that's being filmed. So what you're going to see here is I think it's pretty amazing, really. I left my camera running for 8 hours on this building, and this is what happened an hour and 40 minutes into it. These lights came on, and this is a gathering of alien entities. Unaltered footage, exactly how it happened on the camera. Runs for about 15 minutes. It happens twice. There's also other anomalies. Huge red things flash through the screen, not on this film. So I'm just going to leave you to watch this. What I would recommend that you do is you download it and take your time to look at it, because you need to look at it in slow motion, really. But everything that's fallen in place there, gathering around those two lights, are a stream of extraterrestrials. It's a clear night, no rain, no fog. Clear as a bell. Keep watching, you'll see entities come into the light, and one of them sort of takes a seat in the middle of one of the lights and the group gathers around him. I'm not going to say any more. This is genuine footage. These are extraterrestrial beings. It's not finished. It's the lights come back on. They also form around this other light. So you're looking at a horizon distance there of probably 800 yards from end of screen to end of screen, and a depth of possibly the same, maybe a bit deeper. What you can't see in the dark, there is a telegraph pole that separates both events, but I don't believe it blocks anything off. So we're waiting for looking at the screen, our right hand side. The lights come on again and the entities form en masse. You can actually see them coming in. You can see extraterrestrial beings entering in the what I believe some sort of light bubble, some travelling vehicle that they use. And I decided to film this area. I wasn't filming it for this. I was leaving a camera running to see what, because there's always, when there's a lot of activity at night in the sky, above this particular property, there's always, over the course of a few hours, 3 or 4 lights that hover for, really bright lights actually, that hover quite low, 100, 200 yards above the property, and stay there for 5 minutes and move off. So what I was hoping to do, rather than keep going outside to see if anything's out, I was hoping to see what I catch over an extended period. And this is a main thing that I caught. I also caught what I believe is some sort of camera device that, and another film flies into the screen. In 2 frames it's in the screen. Then I thought the frame was locked, but it wasn't. It stays there for about 20 seconds and boom, it's gone. So it would appear that they know that I'm filming them. So we see there's still morphing around that. It's a secondary light really. The primary lights are going to come back on in a moment. And we'll see the main gathering take shape. But again, that moving light, there's something covering the light now. Watch this entity, it covers the light, it comes over it, it sheaths the light and it turns into a being. Then it appears, and of course it appears to sit in the light. I don't think it actually does. I think they're forward of the light, if you will. So if the lights are 800 yards back, I think this what's happening sits prior to that, maybe 600, 500 yards. So I think it sits in forward of that. And I don't believe as well, and I've looked at the film a few times, I don't believe they're actually resting on what we will consider to be solid, a roof or a building. I think they're actually in what we understand to be space or air. So those are my primary thoughts on this. And you see the beings are forming there, forming around that light and around that, what I believe is the master being, the main being. More coming in, taking shape. And there we are, one of the new lights is on. Here's the beings coming down. And you'll see above the right to its left, there's a being forming there. Came in, you can see its shape. It's now got the shape of a body, a glowing head. There another light comes on. Rest of the beings coming in. And remember, this is undoctored film. I have the original LA Towers with it. Be analysed, this is not explainable by anything that we currently know or understand. And I knew I would find something of excellent quality, excellent proof. I think this is it. I think there'll be more to come in the future. I'm filming tonight. I was filming last night. What camera's set. And I think it's stunning, to be quite honest with you. You can see the forms there. You can see the gathering, the formation around these central light points. And as we go along, we'll see a being that, again, appears in a more settled form to sit in what I would say is in the center of the light. Whether it does, I don't know, but it's like it's sat on a throne. And now you can see the form of that being. You can see the form of these. Again, take the video off frame by frame as the beings come in, as the bubbles come down, as like they roll through the screen. As they're rolling down, you'll see the entity forming them, and then it takes its place, if you will. marvellous footage. And it's great to have proof, really. And I'm guessing that this area has been a hotbed of activity for millennia, a long, long time. And what better place to set your base up in old UK farmhouses, places out of the way. These YouTube clips are limited to 15 minutes, so this is a 15-minute segment. There's also a second, which I don't know whether I'll upload it or not, but there's a second event, virtually the same as this, really, in as much as it's earlier on in the film. Both sets of lights are on and the beings gather, then the lights come off for sort of 30 minutes, then it starts again, and then it stops, and that's the end of it for the evening. But then what happens? Then we've got things flashing through the sky. That one of them took up one third of the frame, 1/3 of the picture we're seeing now. 1/3 of it was in 2 frames. What looks like a red light flashes by. If you freeze it, it's I'll do a little video of that later on. But it's great, and there's also within the 8 hours another probably 4 or 5 incidents of large, what appear to be worm-type creatures that fly about. Not the size of the first one, but still quite sizable, probably. Just trying to think of the size to describe them. It depends what size screen you're watching. Probably 1/32 of the area of the screen, and they move around in the screen 5, 6, 7 shots maybe, so you can get on a single frame, you can get a clear picture of them. So the event's still progressing. You've seen another one just come dancing in, then came straight in, took up its position. And another one's come down. And that, my friends, in my humble opinion, is a gathering of extraterrestrial entities.